How is it going, everyone? We have an update on when the next state of play is gonna be, and it looks like it's gonna be very soon. Honestly, this state of play, I would keep your expectations tempered. I don't think it's gonna be a big one. As noted by Nate the Hate, who is, I believe, the best leaker in all of gaming, someone asked him on X, hello, is there a state of play in February? And Nate the Hate just responded, there will be, yes. So, as far as what this state of play is going to be, I would keep your expectations tempered. I would imagine the big push at this state of play is going to be Marathon. Marathon is out March 5th. Look, it's a live service game, and those games are titles that if there's potential in, Sony is going to put the muscle behind, and I think there is potential with Marathon. I know a lot of people are labeling it as Concord. Guys, it is not going to be Concord, at least initially. Concord has set such a crazy barometer for a game to be a failure. Okay, games can fail, games can flop, but Concord literally shut down in a week and they had to refund everyone. I get that Concord is the buzzword, kind of convenient thing to compare all live service games to. Most live service games, even if they fail, even if they flop, are not going to be Concord level bad. Marathon, when they did the updated reveal for the game and pre-orders went live, actually became one of the top sellers on Steam. Right now, it's not among the absolute top sellers on Steam, but it's still in the mix. And on top of that, the game is still, 6 weeks away from being released, 5 weeks away from being released. I totally believe, at least at launch, it's gonna have a healthy level of interest. I wouldn't be surprised if it cracks, 80,000, 100,000 concurrent players, or even well over that. Relative to Concord, guys, Concord peaked at like 1,400 players, so the Concord comparison is ridiculous, but I do think Marathon is going to be showcased. I would imagine Saros is going to get a trailer ahead of its March release, maybe an update on Marvel Tokon Battle, and then on top of that, I would imagine a lot of third-party stuff. Wolverine is something that I would be saving until the summer. We kind of see how Sony does it in terms of how they showcase their big fall title and their big game for the year. They announce it a year or so out, and then they get the big update in the summer. I know that doesn't necessarily fit the trend all the time, but Wolverine was revealed in 2021, but that was such a brief teaser trailer. The real reveal where we first got gameplay and all that came last year. And then I would imagine the big gameplay showcase where they roll out the deluxe edition, where they showcase all the content, let us know whether or not there's going to be some fake early access shenanigans. I would imagine that's going to be coming in the summer, and I think that Sony might have enough cooked up where they might be able to do a showcase this year. Again, they're still reeling from just cooking themselves with the live service game, so we'll see how all of that turns out. I know some people are hoping for like Intergalactic and all that. Intergalactic's a 2027 game at best, and we know that game's had a tumultuous dev cycle as well. Gotta get that game out before the PS6 so we can remaster it, but, that'll probably be a 2027 game. At some point, also, you would think that the next Horizon game should be getting revealed. I know that's not something everybody cares about, but Horizon Forbidden West came out in early 2022. We are 4 years removed from the release of that game, relative to when Zero Dawn came out. Zero Dawn came out in 2017, and Forbidden West was revealed in summer of 2020, so it was 3 years and change. We're now 4 years removed from the release of Forbidden West, or almost 4 years, and we don't really know much about the third Horizon game. I would imagine that's going to be a 2028 game, but nonetheless, we'll see about that. I could see the third Horizon game being like a PlayStation 6 launch title. But then you've also got the rumblings of this console generation being extended. I just don't expect this state of play to be a big show. Rather, I think it's going to be using it as a platform to promote some of those March titles. And I look at the calendar of 2026, the calendar year, and look at the games coming to PlayStation 5 that they've already got announced. Look, relative to recent years, which have been very underwhelming, I think 2026 is already a W. We got Saros, we got Wolverine, 2 big first-party titles. That's all I need. Give me some other smaller games around that. If you can finally figure out how to do, Infamous Remastered, I would like that, but I'm not expecting, Sucker Punch to come out and announce a new Infamous game. Like, that's just not gonna happen. Or a new project from them. That game just came out. I know Bluepoint's probably deeper into developing something, but that's still probably a couple years out. You gotta understand where these development studios are at. Ben's studio just got cooked from a live service game. They're not gonna be revealing something new. At least they're not going to be revealing anything that's going to be coming out anytime in the near future, unless you do an Uncharted Golden Abyss remastered, which that should absolutely happen. And by the way, Ben Studio did do that, so if you do want to monetize Ben Studio, how about we port that game over? But again, you just have to realize that a lot of these development studios got cooked from the live service games, and they are still fairly early on in their projects. And also, I know the game is probably dead on arrival, but a fair game, we gotta do something about. I mean, we don't have to do anything about that game. We could just cancel that game, but we have to at some point know whether or not this game is coming out. It was supposed to come out in 2025. It got delayed into 2026. It got revealed all the way back in June of 2023 with one of the worst reveal trailers of all time. Sony's got a knack for doing a lot of those, but that game, we just have heard it go MIA. We know that there's been some restructuring at the studio. I think most people view that game as a bit of a dead on arrival project as well, but nonetheless, at some point we got to hear more about that game. But if you really look at what the potential announcements can be for February, I don't think it's gonna be a lot of first party stuff. Maybe that 2.5 Metroidvania God of War that's been teased a lot, but really, as far as what's coming out this year, the table's kind of already set. You got Wolverine, you got Soros. I doubt you put out another big game in the fall, especially if GTA is still scheduled for the fall. I imagine we'll see a lot of third-party stuff, but, you know, this year is kind of what it is, and that's not necessarily bad. You got Marvel that's being published, Marvel Tokon that's being published by PlayStation. You've got Soros, you've got Wolverine. That's kind of a W to me. That's like a pretty good year, all things considered. Yeah, would it be nice if some of the other studios, a Guerrilla, a Naughty Dog, if they were putting out games more consistently? Obviously. But it is what it is. Also, there is that Guerrilla Horizon multiplayer project that's not the MMO that we still need to hear more about. So I don't know if that's ever gonna come to fruition or if it's gonna go the way with a lot of these live service games. But I digress. I'm still excited for the show, and hopefully we can get some good announcements. But I would temper your expectations again, just based on laying out the timeline. Maybe they'll have some focus on the PSSR updates like that. I could totally see happening, but I wouldn't expect anything major as far as new announcements from first-party studios go. I just don't think it's the time for that, given where all of these studios are currently at. But a Soros trailer, a marathon push, alongside something to announce, like a free test that everybody can check out the game, and that should really help sell that game. And again, I don't think Marathon looks terrible, and I think it's gonna do okay. Do I think it's gonna be Arc Raiders? No, but do I think it's gonna do okay and it's not gonna be another Concord? Yeah, but obviously with games like that, it's about where you're at 6 months from now, not where you're at launch week or even the first 2 weeks, but I do think that game's gonna do better than some people expect. So there's Marathon, Marvel Tokon I think makes sense, Wolverine I don't think we're gonna see it here, I think they're gonna wait until the summer for that, and then a lot of third-party stuff. Like, I just feel like that's what makes sense, and if you have your expectations in line expecting stuff like that, I don't think you're gonna be all too disappointed. But that's gonna do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.